beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel. Today's vlog is going to be a little bit different but very important. I am taking you with me as I clean my house, but while we clean, we're also going to have a real talk about the spiritual reasons behind keeping a clean house and the cultural differences between how Americans and Africans approach house cleaning. Because growing up in Africa, I was raised to see cleaning as more than a chore. It is a spiritual discipline, a sign of self-respect, and even a way to honor God. But here in the US, I've noticed some differences, and I think it's worth talking about. Let's start by talking about the spiritual meaning of cleaning a home. In the Bible, cleanliness often refers or represents holiness, order, and preparation. 1 Corinthians 14:40 says, "Let all things be done decently and in order." A clean home isn't just about appearances, it's about creating an atmosphere where peace can flow. One thing I can say is, when my environment is clean, my mind feels clear. And when my space is organized, I feel more closer to God because I'm storing what He has given me. And there's this feeling of peace and accommodation that I feel whenever I organize my room, my bathroom is clean, the dishes are clean, all the things are organized. I just have this peace and joy. And when guests walk in, they feel welcomed and loved. Like, have you ever noticed that whenever a guest shows up in your house, whenever it's organized, they show a different energy, and when they show up in the same house when it's disorganized, they also show a different energy? Just imagine if that guest is the Holy Spirit. How would he feel if he shows up in your house when it's clean versus when it's unclean? Growing up in Mozambique, my parents used to say something along the lines, "The way you care for your home shows the way you care for yourself and the people around you." And now I understand why they say that. Because I feel like cleanliness doesn't just affect the home, it affects the heart. And when my space is in chaos, my mind feels a little bit heavy. But when I am clean, it's almost like I am resetting my spirit. It's my way of saying, "Lord, thank you for this home, and I will honor it," honestly. So now let's talk about something I have noticed since I moved to the US. The big cultural difference in how we approach cleaning. In Africa, especially Mozambique, cleaning is often full family event. Saturdays are sacred. Everyone wakes up early, music is playing, and the whole house gets scrubbed from top to bottom. Even the yard, windows, walls, and dishes, everything must shine. Literally, it's like a tradition. Because often on Saturdays, the lady who cleans does not show up because it's the day, like the break day for them. And if the house is full of people, everyone should clean their room, their bathrooms, kitchen, the yard, the cars, the shoes, laundry. Is like a day to do everything as a family. And we listen to our famous Mozambican singers, we dance, and then we cook a strong lunch, which we call brunch. Like, nobody eats until everything is clean. So that's what I miss the most. But here in America, I have noticed a few differences. What we do back home, like in Africa, we clean daily and deeply. Families involve everyone, kids, parents, even extended family. Like, I'm just being a little bit extra, but it happens sometimes. Saturdays are often dedicated for cleaning day, like for cleaning the house. home are expected to be guest ready at all times. We clean outside areas too, things like yard, porches, and sometimes even the street outside our gates. This is actually fine. Like we burn the trash, and there's a belief that a clean home honors God and guests. But what I have seen in the US, like in American culture, many families clean once a week or hire a professional cleaner occasionally because American culture is different. It's like everybody has a job, the kids go to school, and they must be organized. Like they are very strict with the education of the kids, the alimentation of the kids, and the parents are always busy with work and every single thing, and it's very hard to get time to clean the house. And usually it's like once in a while they clean, and because they are very 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 busy, they hire someone to clean their house. So the culture of cleaning, it's there, but is very rare. Like sometimes it's very hard to find a family who literally clean the house the same way we clean back home in Africa. Because in Africa, the students, like the kids, they go to school, they come back, they have time to do so many other things. But back home in Africa, it's like, I mean, here in the US, the kids have so little time. Like they have so much to do at school. They go to school like at 8 a.m. and they only come back around 4 p.m. And most of the times they have practice at like a soccer, basketball, football. They're always busy doing things, like they literally don't have time for nothing. And the parents are always driving their kids around for practice after practice, games after games. It's just a chaos, and that's the culture of an American family. Literally, that's what I have seen. But correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know everything. I'm just talking about the things that I have experienced and see. But when they clean, they focus more on functional spaces like kitchen and living room, and it's very common for kids not to participate as much in deep cleaning. Guests are often given notice before visiting, unlike back home where guests can show up anytime without saying anything. Outdoor cleaning isn't as prioritized unless there is a HOA requirement. Like most of the time, it's like the government, or how can I say, like the neighborhood has a policy that you must maintain the backyard or the outside area tight. It's like there's so many restrictions and there's so many different rules, and how can I say, it's not everywhere. There's specific areas that you'll see things like that. So I am not trying to say that Americans are messy. It's just that the values are different. In African homes, cleaning is about pride, identity, and preparation. In the US, it's more about convenience and efficiency. Neither is wrong, but understanding the difference helps us appreciate why we clean the way we do. Another thing I noticed when I came to America is that most families here do not have housekeepers. In Mozambique and many other African countries, it's common to have a helper who assists with cleaning, cooking, or childcare, especially in middle-class homes. But here's why it's different in the US. One of the biggest reasons is because the cost of labor. Hiring help is very expensive in the US, and it can cost between $100 to $400 depending. I'm actually being a little bit cheap, like those are the rates for cheap cleaning, like a light cleaning on a small or a big house. And sometimes it can be a little bit expensive than that. And another reason is the cultural independence. And Americans value doing things themselves and teaching kids independence. So they don't like to rely on someone to do their tasks. They like to do their things on their own. And going back to the cost of labor, when I'm saying that it's like it ranges between 100 to 400, I'm literally talking about one day of cleaning. Someone can be paid in 100, and that's it. The person does not have to come another day, like saying that the person is going to be cleaning every day. No, they only pay that for, like, I would say one time per month. Sometimes they do twice a month, every other week. They don't clean it every day. It's like today we clean, we will wait until they will call us to come back and clean. So it's not like they hire you to be the cleaner. They only pay you to clean the house one time only. But if you are lucky, they can contract you. They can sign a contract where they can come and clean regularly, like twice a week, sometimes twice in a month. It's up to the family and how much they have on their pockets. Another reason why Americans rarely have housekeepers is because they have smaller families, fewer kids, fewer people to clean up after. Back home, it's very normal for us to have a house full of people, cousins, uncles, grandma, every single person. Like, we are more united and we really don't care. That's how we live. But here in America, people are very individualized. Like, they only like to have their own family. When I say that, I'm referring to mom, dad, kids, period. They don't invite cousins to live with them. They don't invite uncles to live with them. They only do that unless it's necessary and there are circumstances associated with that. Before that, or if there's nothing associated with that, everybody's living on their own and nobody is sleeping in nobody's house for no reason, unless it's a break or vacation. I think you guys get it. But back home, it's very affordable to hire help. That's why we literally have housekeepers. The family is bigger. As I said, we live more and more people, which means more cleaning and cooking, and we need extra hands to help us cleaning. And the cultural norms, like, it's very common to have someone assisting, especially if both parents work. There is a peace that comes when we are in a clean house. And spiritually, I believe God uses physical order to reflect spiritual order. A clean home encourages prayer and meditation. It invites the Holy Spirit into your space. It teaches discipline and gratitude. It prepares you to host and serve others, sometimes Jesus. Proverbs 24 verse 3 says, "By wisdom a house is built, and by understanding is established." When we take care of our homes, we are honoring what God gave us and creating an environment where we and our loved ones can thrive spiritually and emotionally. Whether you grew up in Africa or America, I think we can all agree on one thing. A clean home brings peace. I have learned to take the best of both cultures. From Africa, I have kept the habit of deep, intentional cleaning. And from America, I have embraced tools and techniques that make the process easier. At the end of the day, it's not about perfection, but it's about creating a space where love lives, where joy grows, and where God feels welcome.